Imagine ditching your 9-to-5 to raking in serious cash, cleaning pools.
My wife heard it. She walked in and goes, I think you're done. I think it's time to go do your own business.
But why the pool business?
This is a one-man operation, and it's not expensive, as you can see.
How much does it cost to get started?
Most think you need massive savings, but I financed it all.
And can you and I replicate his success?
Gross revenue is $851, $824 for the 2024 year.
Join my team and I in Frisco, Texas to find out. All right, Joel, tell our audience who you are, where we are, and what are we doing?
So my name is Joel Davis. I own America's Swimming Pool Company. We're in the great state of Frisco, Texas. City Frisco, great state of Texas.
So when you show up to a job site like this, what's typically the first thing you're doing?
We're going to be emptying all the baskets. Skimmer basket, pump basket, Polaris robotics, but anything that has a basket.
How long will this job take typically? Is that a one-man job, two people?
This is a one-man operation. One person should be able to clean a pool within 30 to 45 minutes.
Not bad.
Which is also balancing the chemicals, adding the chemicals, and doing everything that's required to clean the pool.
All right, how often would you come here? Let's say this customer, how often are you here? How is the price determined as well?
So for maintenance services, we come once a week, 52 weeks a year.
Every week?
Every week.
Texas, I guess.
Even in the winter of Texas and the summer of Texas. The pricing is determined based upon the market, what the market is, what the market dictates. Then there's other factors that go into it, which could be trees in the backyard, organic material, how much organic material is going to be falling throughout the year.
How much does that increase? Let's say you had a base of just throwing it $100, but then trees are there, so what is it, 120, 130?
It can increase it by either 5 to 10 to 15, 20%. It all depends. Everything's big in Texas. Some pools are much bigger, so that price goes up because you're talking more chemicals, there's more time that's out of the pool, so it all depends.
Is it a subscription service or a reoccurring service?
Reoccurring service.
All right, now that we've got the baskets taken care of, what's next?
Next step is brush every square inch of this pool.
What other services do you offer besides maybe cleaning? Is there anything else?
Sure. In the industry, there's 3 pillars. Maintenance, which is cleaning, service, which is taking care of pool equipment, and then what we call the construction, which is either building pools or renovating pools. We always say the bread and butter is the recurring service or the weekly maintenance, because that's where your monthly revenue is coming in constantly. You may get a renovation here or there. You may get a repair service. Not as frequent, but they do come in. But the bread and butter of the industry is the maintenance piece.
And that's what we're here to do.
Right, exactly.
All right, so you got the pole here, and I've got the brush.
Got the brush.
Where's the hook or whatever?
We're missing the clip. It fell out.
Oh, no.
Let me go get that.
Ain't nothing gonna stop us.
Nothing gonna stop
Joe.
us.
Nothing.
Nothing. So what you do is you start from the tile.
So you're basically just scrubbing the wall.
Push down, yep. All the way down.
Oh, just push down?
All the way down.
That is a lot of gunk.
There you go.
This is 30 minutes? Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. You gotta move.
I ain't sure, but he's sure.
Yeah.
This is a good workout, too.
It is a great
you know,
workout.
The back workouts, some
so besides
shoulders.
working out in the morning, we come and work out in the afternoon all day.
Yeah, I'll let you see. I want to see if the movement's a little different. Oh, this. Okay, all right. You made the point. As you're doing this, and I'm just helping with my eyes, did you have any background in pool cleaning before you started the company?
No, I did not.
Give us a little backstory.
So before, I was in corporate America for 25 years, telecommunications. When I left, I had 3 teams reporting to me, about 78 engineers.
But you've had that itch to get out and do something on your own?
I had that itch to get out for a long time. Yep, I started trying to launch 2 other businesses, not the pool industry, and just never took off, and there was just life issues that got in the way.
All right, well, I think this looks pretty good to me since we've finished this up. What's next? I'll let you have it.
All right, so let's get the next step is let's start, we have to net the surface of the pool, so let's get that net right there.
All right, the net. It's amazing how there's very few tools to get the whole job done.
And it's not expensive, as you can see. It's
cheap plastic stuff, aluminum pole.
Correct.
Before we get into it, the cleaning part, 25 years corporate world.
Yep.
Tell our audience that moment when you're like, I'm done, I'm out. What was it like? Was it the call? Was it the craziness? Help us
It was
understand.
a call with my vice president, just very narcissistic, blaming me as being the root cause of the issue, not wanting to hear what the root cause was. And my wife heard it. She walked in and goes, I think you're done. I think it's time to go do your own business. And what's the worst that can happen? I go back to corporate America.
So that was the turning point.
That was a major turning point. Prior to there, I was thinking about starting another business, right? But didn't know what. So it was there, it was creeping up. But that day, that call, that hour, that minute, that second said, it's time.
Yeah.
Time to do something different.
It's interesting. And you guys, if you're watching this and you had a similar moment in your corporate world when you stepped out, we'd love to hear your thoughts, kind of your story. Comment below. We'll make sure to read it. Can you share anything about startup costs? I know that there's some regulations when it comes to franchises, but give us an idea
Sure.
on what to expect.
I'll let you skim the surface of the pool. So depending on the area and the region you're in, pricing is going to vary from one location to the next. It's all dependent upon equipment costs, location costs, and various costs that are attributed to starting the franchise.
How were you able to fund the business startup? Did you tap into savings? What can you share with us?
No, that's a great question. I didn't tap into savings because with the Small Business Administration or SBA loan, it was a lot cheaper to borrow the money over a 10-year period, and the payback is great, and allowed the SBA loan to work, and that's what helped me get this company off and started.
Is the fact that there are financing options out there.
Yeah.
To me, it's easier when you have an established franchise behind you to go to SBA and say, hey, here's what I'm looking to do.
Yeah.
Give me money. It was different if you just came as a solo person, right?
I believe so. I mean, with the SBA, it gives you options because you know you have established franchise system, and they know you're going to have more success in owning that business, that they're probably a lot more, I don't want to say lenient, but they're more willing to look at financing your business.
What does your family think when you stepped out of the corporate world and took that huge risk? What was some of the feedback?
Great support. No negative feedback, because it was my wife that said, I think you're done, right? Get out.
Yeah.
So when it first launched, I got a lot of family members involved to help with a lot of the smaller items. So you all have to be on the same page, rowing as one team. If you're not, then life becomes very hard.
So you worked on a business plan before you got started.
Correct.
You could have started on your own, and yet here we are, ASP franchise. Why them specifically? How did you make that decision?
Wife chose American Swimming Pool Company because it met what was in my original business plan from a 5-year growth period. Is
I see.
Not just to stay in maintenance, but I want to get into service. I want to get into the construction realm, renovations or pool building. So ASP fit that model as compared to other franchisors that are out there.
Yeah, I can only imagine how long it would have taken you maybe to just do it all on your own from scratch and get into all those industry sectors.
It could be achievable, but it may have taken maybe 2, 3, 4 more years longer than what I anticipated.
If watching Joel inspired you to get your own ASP franchise, we'll leave a special link for UpFlip viewers in the description to help you get started. All right, we're done picking up the leaves.
You're done.
What's next?
Yep. So next step is now we're going to vacuum the pool.
Is it more time consuming than everything else we've done so far?
It is, because now we're talking vacuuming the bottom of the pool. So it takes a little bit more effort because we have to put the hose in. If we're going to do a skim vac, we have to prime it up. And then it's just slow process back and forth. So this may take maybe about 5 minutes.
Okay. So your first customer, where did he or she come from? How did you capture that?
That was through our direct mail marketing.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so we do that as well in the industry. Send out 4 to 6 marketing aspects or marketing postcards to customers.
Calling you co-stars, said, hey, I need your help.
Yeah, one called me and said, I'm not happy with my maintenance company. Have time to come out and take a look at my pool? Sure.
Yeah, cost you a couple bucks for that connection.
Yes,
postcards, I mean, can be expensive, but
they can, but it's name recognition over time.
Give our viewers a step-by-step process for going from their 9-to-5 to actually starting their business. Kind of with your experience, what did you learn?
So if you're going to jump in full feet, see if you can find someone that owns a pool company and do a ride-along for a day, right? That would be one.
Get the inside scoop.
I would say I wrote my business plan so I had a model to follow. That will give you your step-by-step, what do I need to do next from a logistics standpoint, or if you're from a franchise, how am I going to contact the franchisor, and then reach out that way of what needs to take place before I even open my front doors.
Not a lot of people write business plans.
No, they don't.
What can you share with us on that?
I would at least write something down on paper.
So it doesn't have to be a packet of paper.
It doesn't have to be.
That's the overwhelming
It doesn't
part.
have to be 300 pages, right? Mine wasn't. But you should write it down so you have a thought process of what you want to achieve. You just don't want to go dive in deep end. You should have something set that you can follow to make sure you're getting all your questions asked and addressed before you jump in full feet, so to say.
So a one-pager could be sufficient.
Oh yeah, definitely. Right? And then you start breaking it down from there as you go along because you're going to have more questions.
Blitz time with Joe. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. So what's something every homeowner should know about their pool that most don't?
Chemicals.
If your corporate self could see you now, what would surprise him most?
He did it.
Your son is following in your footsteps. What's one business lesson you hope he never has to learn the hard way?
Not what his father made mistakes in, right?
Don't repeat the mistakes.
Don't repeat the same mistakes. Right.
If you had to create a swimming pool for yourself with unlimited budget, what wild feature would you include?
Ooh,
See, now
wild
he's
feature.
spending money in his head right now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Wild feature.
Yeah.
probably a big lazy river.
Okay. Ooh, I love lazy rivers. If you weren't in corporate America or the pool business, what would you be doing instead?
Sitting on the beach.
So some kind of a business where you sit on the beach and get paid for it?
Yeah.
Okay, not bad. What was your, quote, I've made it, end quote, moment in the business?
I've not had one yet.
Okay, fair. Last one, if you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
My dad.
What would you ask him?
He passed away in 2005.
Sorry
so,
for your loss.
Yeah, it's tough,
Yeah,
but
sorry.
it's okay.
I'm with you. Great answer there.
Yeah.
There's no better person to meet with than
I didn't
somebody.
expect that one.
Yeah.
but yeah.
I got you with that one. Joe spent 25 years climbing the corporate ladder before trading in spreadsheets for pool skimmers. Now he's bringing in over $1 million a year. How did he do it? By realizing when you want your own success story, you can't wait. You have to dive in. And that starts with getting your business online fast. That's where Hostinger's AI website builder comes in. With Hostinger, you can just type in your business name and a short description, and their AI instantly builds your site layout. Copy everything. Then you can drag and drop to customize it. Colors, logos, fonts, no expensive coding or lengthy design process. And if you're an online store or business, Hostinger can even help you secure a unique .store domain and instantly level up your site traffic. Plus, sites with a .store domain rank over 2 times higher on Google. So don't just dip your toe in the water. Dive into your business's new website today. Head to hostinger.com/UpFlip, select the business plan, and use code UpFlip at checkout for a discount and launch your site today.
So the next thing we're going to do is get the skim back.
Yep.
Get that all set up.
Gets hooked up.
And then we're going to get the pole and put the pole on the end of this, and then we'll start vacuuming.
Let me ask you, like, if you didn't go the franchise route, I know maybe, how would you get your first customer? Like, from your experience with what you know now, the franchise support?
Yeah, you have to knock on doors. When I first started, I would hit neighborhoods, walk 2 or 3 blocks, looking at Google Maps, see who had a pool, and then putting flyers on their door.
All right, if Joe's story inspired and encouraged you, take a second, like and subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate that. All right, so once we're done vacuuming, the last process that you as a company do is what?
Check chemicals. Now we're going to look and see what's going on with the pool water, what chemicals we need to add, and how balanced the pool is.
Okay, let's do it. I know you can't share a lot of specific numbers because of how franchises work, but give our viewers an idea on how ASP franchises do on average per territory.
On average gross revenue is $851, $824 for the 2024 year.
Gotcha. So you have a phenomenal story, and it all started with taking that first initial step, right? What do you think holds most people back from pursuing their business? What's your advice to them?
One is the unknown. Where's your money coming from? What's your day going to be like? Can they succeed? There's so many offshoots of the unknown that holds us back of being entrepreneurs. When you see that and you get that nervous feeling, for me, that's the excitement. It's the unknown, because now I'm charting my own path, right?
Yeah.
Meaning I can go left, right, up, down, straight, turn 360, go 180. That's the best part. But it's the unknown, not knowing where am I going to be? How am I going to be successful? Can I be successful? Everyone that holds them back, what do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Right? Jump in, try it. Or start off slow. Wade in the water.
Sometimes you need a kick in the butt to do it. Take that leap of faith. I mean,
yeah,
a mentor,
you're
coach.
it. There's no one to push you. There's no one behind you. There's no boss. You are the driver. If you're not driving, then how are you going to be successful? And that's the best part, because income is unlimited. And they always say that the number one person in who makes the most money from a salary perspective is a small business owner, because it's unlimited of how much you can earn as compared to your top tier professionals. And what do you have to lose?
What equipment can your business not run without? Let's talk about the basics if I want to get started.
In the maintenance aspect, basic equipment is going to be brush, poles, right?
Which is this stuff right here.
Skim vac, a hose in order for you to clean the pool, and a pool net, and then a test kit. That's it. That's all you need to begin.
How much are we talking about? I mean, this is like
You're
maybe a few $100 at most?
At least, maybe $300, $400, $500, right? That's it. That's all you need to begin. And then just chemicals, and then you're off and running.
All right, throughout the year, when it comes to marketing, what platforms have given you sort of the best ROI, delivered the best results? What are you seeing here?
Our webpage is the best, along with the pay-per-click in Google PPC.
So driving traffic there.
Driving traffic, it opens up a lot of doors. Everyone's so attuned to Google reviews.
Yeah.
We do advertising in our social media, and we do a lot of social media posts, but everything drives back towards people going back to our Googles. Our Googles, right?
Googles. Oh,
our
yeah.
Google review
Yeah.
and our webpage, and that is our best return on investment that we get. And every chance we get, we try to put more money towards our PPC.
Okay. So out of all the marketing, Google, but do you use like TikTok, short format, Instagram, Facebook?
We use Instagram, Facebook, the most hits from a social media aspect.
Yeah.
People love dogs. We get more likes and hits with dogs and pools, animals and pools, so we try to post as much as we can.
A little tip trick there.
A little tip, right? So it's the little things that most customers don't see.
Cool.
And that's what we try to point on for pinpoint in our social media posts to get likes and where people follow us and such.
It's no secret that Google is one of the best ways to find customers, but who better to learn from than a former Google employee? With 6 years of experience on the inside, Jill has created a step-by-step blueprint for getting leads with as low as $100. So if you do want to grow your business, click the link below and join 451 other entrepreneurs growing their business with Jill's proven methods. Pivoting here a little bit, let's talk about converting customers, right? What tactics, strategies are you using to get conversion? You get a quote and then it converts to a customer.
I go see every customer that comes through the door,
Wow.
if they buy from us or not. To me, that's the most important thing. That's in my business plan. That was from day one. See every customer that comes through the door. And for me, that's to go out, look at the pools, talk to the customer. Why are they switching? Are they happy? Are they not happy? So I'm looking for different items in order to convert them. And we really focus on quality, not just quantity. So when we talk to customers, we're focusing on the Langley Saturation Index, which separates us from our competitors, and we focus on the quality of the service we do. So we're not in and out cleaning pools. We really focus on that high-level resort-style pool experience that we are going to give to our customers.
How often are they signing right there on the spot with you before you leave? Is that what your goal
That's
as well?
the goal.
That's the goal, okay.
That's the goal, but we do send them an estimate. We probably convert maybe 1 out of 3 visits, which is 33%.
Yeah.
Everyone shops differently. I'm there to provide, this is what we do, this is what separates us from our competitors. But at the end of the day, a lot of it comes down to price for customers.
If you could go back in your journey and change one thing, what would it be and why?
If I would go back to myself today and say, hey, work on your books. Because
Know your numbers.
Know your numbers. Because that, as a business owner, that's what's going to keep you in business, knowing how much things cost, what your percentages are, where your expenses are going out, income. Working on it, at least dedication of once a week, not just from a metric standpoint, but from a finance as well.
All right, so this location is kind of your office, it's your storage area, everything all in one, right?
Yep.
Do you mind if we go check out your office?
Sure.
Okay, I'll follow you. What does a day in your life look like today as a franchisee?
So today I work on my business and probably maybe 10 to 15% in the business. So the day-to-day operations start around 8 o'clock, and my goal this year is to be done by 5. But it is day-to-day operations, meeting customer sales, looking at my books, obviously addressing customers' concerns and issues, making sure the team needs what they need, talking to vendors, working on pricing, and just a variety of other items that come up through the day that can take time away from daily work like maintenance, right?
Yeah.
Or service. So that's my day-to-day operations, is really working on the business and growing the business and meeting customers.
How do you unplug at the end of the day?
Oh, it's pretty easy for me. A good bourbon and a good cigar.
Okay.
On Friday,
Yeah.
right? Because that's what I look forward to. That's my unplug for the week. But at the end of the day, it's as a business owner, you never unplug. It's always something in the back. You're always thinking about it. But physically, you unplug, meaning you're not answering emails or answering text. You set a precedent with customers. Like, our business is from 8 to 5. It's not 24 hours a day. We're not physicians. So customers know that we set that boundary right off the bat. Occasionally, we have to talk to customers after hours for some issues, but most of it, it's 8 to 5.
What's the most rewarding part of owning your own business? Leaving a legacy, maybe?
Well,
or-
leaving a legacy, right? So my son does work for me. It started from day one. So when I came back from pool school, he started cleaning pools. And right now he is the general manager of my area.
Nice.
So I'm going out looking at buying other areas now, expanding the territory. So one day this will be all his. That's my legacy, and I'll be able to retire off in the sunset, sit by a pool or by the ocean, and enjoy my rest of my life. So
that's the beautiful part, though, right? Of owning your own business, right? Because you can't leave a legacy so much as at the corporate level.
No, you can't. But in this industry, or any industry as a business owner,
right?
If you got family members work for you, you leave legacy all the time.
I know throughout the day we're talking about maintenance. That's what we're focusing on. But what is this? Give us a quick snippet.
So this is part of our construction side, renovation, all pool building, tile. This is stone veneers we can put on the sides of pools.
This goes inside the pool?
No.
Can.
You can, but I wouldn't.
Okay.
Right, but maybe on a raised spa, sheer descent wall.
True.
We put this on. We dress it up. It's a facade.
Okay.
And this is your coping that you have, right? A little dirty, but
it's a small part of your business.
It's a small part of our business. It's one of the pillars of our business.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Early days, some challenges that you overcame. Yep. What can you share with us?
So early challenges are time management, because as you're building your business, you're in it, working it, cleaning pools, you're taking phone calls, you got sales calls, you got customers that you've built up that now have an issue with my pool. Then it becomes a challenge, because now I need to have someone come and work for me. So you have to find that A player that can take that role on.
Yeah.
And so the challenge is, as you grow, you become more busy, which then becomes time management.
How did you fix that challenge? Just hire somebody, or?
You set a goal in the morning, get as many pools as you can clean, get done. And then afternoons are follow-ups with customers and repairs. Because again, maintenance is the bread and butter. So you want to make sure you take care of your customers, get them out of the way, get done, get their pools clean, and then start hitting those other items that you need to address.
What are some systems you have in place in the business for ASP that make the business run smoothly? I mean, you can't live without that, right?
Correct. So we do have a application that we use that's cloud-based, app on the phone that allows us to check our daily routes, talk to customers, allows us to get the jobs that we need to do on a daily basis, and then send a report back to the customer.
All in one kind of a deal.
All in one.
Nice.
So it's nice. It really takes that headache out of the way, trying to find another application that does it. ASP, American Swimming Pool Company, gives us that opportunity. They take that off the plate. They're the ones that go out and research that for us as owners. Yeah.
So they make the chaos kind of go away via that platform.
Makes that chaos go away in that realm.
When did you realize you need help when you started this business? Like, who was your first hire? At what point?
My first hire was my son. He started basically probably the second week, and
got him on board pretty quickly.
Yeah, when he was done, he came out, cleaned 3 or 4 pools, and then we just kept on working. Our first official hire was probably the second year, because we were taking on so many more pools that we needed help at that point. And at that point, you just have to transition to additional hands on deck.
When it comes to pricing, I know it varies market by market, but let's be more specific. Like here in this market, who decides how much do you charge? You, the franchisor, what does that relationship look like?
I do. I go in and I decide what the pricing is, along with the SWOT analysis, along with just acting as a customer, calling other pool companies, just so we have our finger on the pulse. Plus just knowing other pool owners, not just American Swimming Pool Company, but other of our competitors. We're all friends, we're all in the same business, and we all kind of talk and say, okay, what's the price doing? And we base it around what the local market's dictating.
Right. So you could be on the low end. I wonder if there's any benefits or negatives to being the cheapest or maybe the most expensive?
No, so it's based on what you're worth and what your company's worth, right?
Yeah.
So what we bring, what our worth is and what our value, what we bring to our customers, our pricing is a little bit maybe higher than the average company that's in this area.
But you bring the value to it.
We bring value, right? So when we're done, it's a resort style pool. This will all be cleaned, vacuumed, picked up. Everything we do, we put furniture back. That's the price you're paying for great service.
I like it, resort style
pool.
Yep. What is the most stressful part about running this business?
The most stressful part is just making sure everything's being addressed and your customers are being taken care of. You have 20, 30 customers that you have to make sure the pool maintenance is done, completed, steps processed, followed, and making sure by the time you leave the end of the day, there's no phone calls, there's no follow-ups, just making sure the techs are following what they need to follow and keep the pools clean.
And do you follow some checklists to make sure that it's consistent throughout?
Yes, our app has that checklist that every technician follows, along with some pictures.
Nice.
And tracks the chemicals. It does everything that we need to do and give that report to the customer.
Easy. What's one book you think that every entrepreneur should absolutely read? Give us one insight as well.
I've read the book already twice, called Profit First by Mike Michalowicz, and I'm probably chopping up his last name, so forgive me, Mike. It really shows you how to be more profitable in the business. And at the end of the day, it shows you in this book how you need to pay yourself first as an entrepreneur, right? Because we have a tendency of always putting our money back into the business at the end of the year. Sometimes we just don't have that profit, even though our balance sheet and our P&L statement shows, oh, you made a profit. And then it's go, well, where is it? So Mike comes in and shows how to save that money as a profit and how to pay yourself as an entrepreneur, because you are the most important person in the business.
Okay, we'll make sure to check it out. What's your leadership style like, and how do you keep your employees motivated?
So my leadership style hasn't changed since corporate America. It's been the same.
Is that good or bad?
It's a good thing, right? And there's times where you have to wear a feather glove, right? And there's times where you have to wear an iron glove. It all depends on the given situation. But when you bring people on your team, you don't have all the answers. So you look for input from other individuals. From a leadership standpoint, I personally feel that it's just not one way fits all, and you just take it, fine tune it, and you work with it. To keep employees motivated, usually by lunch, paid holidays.
Small things make a difference.
Small things, right? I do give them the week of Thanksgiving off paid, as well as Christmas, the week off. So, and then they reward them for time off, and then if they do extra work, maybe a gift card here or there, just to say, hey, thank you for all your extra effort and so forth.
So your son works with you. A lot of viewers are curious to know what it's like to work with family, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a son, daughter. How'd you guys figure it out? What are the challenges?
It just didn't figure out. It just fell into place. And one, he needed a job. And two, it's the most rewarding experience I've had, because he's there, he's learning. We talk every day about work and just fun things in life, right? It's one person that will take the business serious like me, because he's got a vested interest in making sure we succeed.
What about like disagreements, or he's not in a role of decision making for now, right?
Now he is, right, because he's my general manager now of the area. So he takes decisive roles. I'm helping him coach to give him experience, right? He's making a lot more decisions, less more than me, from a administrative standpoint of running the business, from a day-to-day operations, but no disagreements. And we look at options and decide which is the best route. So it's working out. It's again, that goes back to, you take all your information in, and then you make that best decision after you think about it, analyze it, maybe sleep on it overnight, and then you institute that decision.
Any tidbits, advice for those watching who are thinking, should I get involved with family when it comes to business? Should I not?
Well, there's a lot of husband-wife teams out there, and they do great. I think it's an excellent opportunity to work with your children, because how many times can a parent say, my child works for me, and here's my exit strategy, and he's right there with you. I mean, that's
pretty cool.
That's awesome, right? Because you don't get that, you can't do that in corporate America.
How much control and flexibility do you feel like you have as a franchisee, and are there any limitations?
No, as a franchisee, that's the beauty with America's Swimming Pool Company. They give you the foundation, but the flexibility to run your own business your way within these guidelines or parameters. And so when it comes right down to it, I think it's the best decision I've made as a franchisor or franchisee, that allows me that flexibility to tweak what I need to tweak, because every area is different from one region of the country to another. No limitations whatsoever.
You don't feel like your hands are tied?
No, hands are not tied.
Can't do this, can't do that. But
exactly. It allows us to go do what we need to do to service the customer and run the business at the end of the day.
And continue growing.
And continue
scaling.
Scaling, exactly.
Cool, awesome. Guys, if you're still interested and are excited about having your own ASP location, we'll make sure to leave a special link for UpFlip viewers in the description. Check it out. How do you personally define success?
Success for me at the end of the day is making sure my customers are satisfied. That is the most successful part, because when you walk away and you see smile on their faces, and you know from a maintenance aspect that their pool's clean, they're happy.
I was gonna say, how do you measure that though practically? Is it a review? Is it a phone call to Joel? Everything was phenomenal?
Google reviews are always great, and we get those a lot. And that's what sells my business virtually. But at the end of the day, knowing there's no phone calls, there's no emails, people unhappy. We're taking care of the customer at the end of the day, because again, we're in the people business from a pool company. And so that's the most successful piece for me. That's most gratifying, not just in pool, but in everything. How happy is your customer? That's how you're gonna get your repeat business.
What do you want to say to all the corporate folks right now? What's your advice to them?
If you're not happy and you have that drive and that spirit as an entrepreneur, go for it. Be it jump into the deep end with both feet, or just work your way in gradually in the shallow end in the pool industry, right? Metaphors. Yeah. But you just do it. For me, it was an opportunity that I took advantage of. But if you're just sitting there and you're contemplating, what's the worst thing that could happen to you? If not, you just go back to the corporate world.
Do you think the franchise route is for everyone, and what does it take to succeed?
Franchise route is good for everyone. But not for everyone, right? So in other words, for me, it met all the bells and whistles or the check marks. Could I have went on my own and did it? Sure. Would it have taken me longer? Sure. But it's doable, right? Based on my history and my background. But the franchise just accelerated my faster in the industry that gave me that foundation. And I just took it from there, made some tweak, and got to where I needed to be as a business owner much quicker. So it does help. But there's a lot of individuals out there that just they're by themselves and they start their small business and they just grow. So everyone's unique, everyone's different. But from American Swimming Pool Company, they're the ones that go. They met all my check marks of what I needed to start the business.
Best choice. What's the biggest misconception that you think people have about franchise ownership?
My conception is that when you hear franchise ownership, you feel that there's that corporate America feeling, right? Where they got the thumb on you, controlling you, what you can and cannot do. And at American Swimming Pool Company, there's guidelines, but then it's your business. We're here to help you grow. And they give you the freedom to do what you need to do to be successful every day. Support that American Swimming Pool Company gives you is by far what I feel than what most other franchises give. But the misconception is, well, I have to pay a lot of royalties, I have to pay a lot of these fees. With American Swimming Pool Company, I don't see it.
If that inspired you as much as it did me, you can claim your free access to Brandon Vaughn's complete business startup blueprint right here. With 12 multi-million-dollar businesses under his belt, he's got the exact framework that succeeds in any industry. And if you want more of what you just saw, I highly encourage you to check out episode 228 with Michael Hoffman, who turned $117 into a massive AI vending empire. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.